Let's start now with that sofa modeling. So we'll just need to move the cursor here. So shift right click on the opposite side and add the plane. And right now we can scale this. So if we go to the item here, you can see the dimensions, and we can scale this to something like 1.6. And on the Y, press S, then Y, and you can scale this to something like 4.6.47. That'll be okay, but don't forget to press apply, because you can see the scale is all messed up here. So if we press Ctrl A and apply scale, it's all set. And right now we can go to the edit mode and move this up a little bit. So press G, then Z, and move this up, not too much. There will be really small legs underneath the sofa. And right now we can extrude this, maybe even further. So press G, Z. And to create the base for the sofa, just add the 2 loop cuts here. So press Ctrl R, adjust with the mouse wheel and confirm. And let's scale this on the y-axis. So press S, Y, and scale this all the way here. These will be the sides. And 1 loop cut here, which will move all the way to the back. Right there. Right now, just switch to the face select. So press 3, click this face here, and by holding Ctrl, you can click to add to the selection to select the loop. And let's just press E and extrude this up a little bit. And one last thing to do, we can just select this face loop on the back. So click that and Control click this on the other side. Press E to extrude, and this is the base for the sofa basically. And right now we'll add those legs. So tab out and let's name this sofa. Let's add another object. So Shift A, mesh, and add a circle. It will be very similar to the table. So the 12 sides are okay. And right now tab in, switch to the vertex select, go to the top view with numpad 7, switch to the wireframe view. Let's scale this down. And as you already know, we can just move this, add a mirror modifier on X and Y. So let's add mirror, X and Y, fill with F, look from the front, press E to extrude this up. Okay, and we can call this sofa legs. Let's tab out, rotate this. Right now we can go back to the sofa object, go to the solid view. And right now we can create the cushions for the sofa. So let's tab in and select the top face here. So face select, select this one, press Shift D to duplicate, P to separate, enter, tab out, select the new object, tab in, and right now I want you to make a cut in the middle here, cancel with escape, and delete this other half. So X and faces. And right now just select this edge here, press G and X to move this a little bit outwards from the sofa. And let's just select all and extrude this up. Something like this. And right now we'll just make those armrests here. So let's Shift D to duplicate this, enter, but don't separate. We'll keep this in this cushion object. Let's just press G, then Z, move this up a bit, press G, then Y, move this here, and select this edge and press G twice to slide this here. Face select, click the face here and extrude. So there'll be the armrest cushion there. Maybe modify this a little bit. Okay, and right now I want you to select this face there, press G, then Y, and move it just a tiny bit here. And that's because I don't want it to touch the middle here, and let's add the mirror modifier, disable X and enable Y. We can now additionally move this a little bit closer together, so let's press G, then Y, and move this closer. So this is the base for the cushions, so let's call this sofa cushions. And right now that's just some boxes stacked on the top of each other, and we'll need to make this into a sofa. So first of all, let's hide the cushions, so press H and select the main sofa object, and right now we'll add the subdivision surface modifier. So let's go to the add modifier and subdivision surface, or there's another option for that, and if you press Ctrl 1 or Ctrl 2, you're basically adding a subdivision surface modifier with desired subdivision level. So if we press Ctrl 2, the subdivision modifier is added and the viewport is set to 2. So that's quite useful shortcut, and I use it quite often. And we can now enable the smooth shading here, so right click and shade smooth, and this already starts to look like a sofa. We just need to add some geometry there. Basically, as I shown you before, you can modify the shape by adding more geometry and more loop cuts and make some transitions more sharp. So if you go into the edit mode and add the loop cut, maybe here, and move it all the way to the side there, you made much sharper transition there. And that's basically what we are gonna be doing right now. Let's add another loop cut on the other side, so press Ctrl R and move it here. Now I want this part to be sharp, so let's add another cut there and move this up, and another cut down like this. And here in the back I really want to make this radius a little bit more subtle, because it stretches all the way down here. So let's just make a cut here and move it up a little bit. And one last thing, I don't like the radius here, so we'll need to add a cut right here, move it all the way to touch the corner there, almost touch. So I'm doing all this by the eye, you can see, but these distances on these cuts are fairly similar. And the same as here, I don't like this long radius right there, and I want to add another cut right here, and it will be good also for the later texturing part, and you will see later why it's important to not have some of the geometry stretched so far. So let's add a cut here and move it here to create nice radius, and it'll be good for the texturing part later as well, so it's not that much stretched there. So this is basically it for the base of the sofa. We can tab out right now, and you can already see how nice this smooth object is. Okay, let's press Alt H to unhide the cushions, and this will be fairly easy. So let's just enable smooth shading, right click and shade smooth, and let's press Ctrl 2 to add the subdivision surface. Select just the cushions, go into the edit mode, and we can shape this to our needs. So let's press Ctrl R to add a cut to this armrest and move this all the way to the back, and another one here, and you can see how easy it is to shape the objects. But I don't like this curve here. I wanted more subtle curvature, so we can subdivide this even further. So let's add one cut here and one cut in the middle, and that's much more like it. Right now we can just press L to select linked and move this a little bit down to touch the sofa, And here for the cushions, you can add a loop cut here and one here. And to shape it from the top, we'll do 2 loop cuts there. Let's press escape. And let's just press S to scale, Y, and stretch this out. And the same thing here. Let's add 2 loop cuts and scale this on the X. And that's basically the shape I want to have for the cushions. And the sofa is ready. And again, I will leave the legs flat shaded for now, same as for the table, and we'll get back to them later. So right now we can just click these objects, the legs, the cushions, and the sofa last, Control P, and parent this. So we have a nice sofa. And again, pivot point is down here, so we can nicely scale it and move it around.